You are not a single organism. You are a moving planet.
A warm, wet world of skin, airways, and tunnels where bacteria live, compete, cooperate, and adapt. For a long time, people repeated a famous line: your body has 10 times more bacteria than human cells. But newer estimates suggest the ratio is much closer, about 1 to 1. Not because bacteria are rare, because your body has more of its own cells than we once thought. Still, that leaves an unsettling truth. You carry an entire microbial civilization with you. And most of it lives in one place: your gut. So the real question is not whether bacteria are inside you. The question is, what are they doing there? Because bacteria don't invade you by default. Most arrive as passengers, and many become workers. They help break down food you can't digest. They manufacture small molecules your body can use.
They interact with hormones and nerves. They train parts of your immune system, especially early in life.
And they occupy space that dangerous microbes would love to steal. This community is called the microbiome.
It's not an organ. It's an ecosystem.
And like any ecosystem, it can be stable or it can collapse. To understand how bacteria can rule the body, we need two stories at once: the story of peaceful residents and the story of hostile intruders. Let's start with the peaceful part.
A newborn is almost sterile compared to an adult. Then, within hours and days, microbes begin to colonize.
Skin microbes settle on skin. Mouth microbes settle in the mouth.
And gut microbes build a city in the intestines, layer by layer, year by year.
Your body doesn't just tolerate this, it negotiates with it. The gut becomes the main headquarters, not because it is glamorous, but because it is enormous. A long, folded surface where nutrients pass through, where bacteria can feast on leftovers. Most bacteria there are not trying to hurt you. They are trying to live. They metabolize fibers into short-chain fatty acids, molecules that can influence inflammation, gut barrier function, and metabolism. They compete with each other for food and space.
They keep invaders from taking over by simple crowding. They produce acids and chemicals that change the neighborhood.
And they send messages, tiny chemical signals, that tell other bacteria who is nearby. This bacterial communication has a name: quorum sensing. It's how microbes coordinate. It's like a crowd deciding when to move as one. But bacteria are not tiny animals. They don't have goals like evil or good. They have strategies. And one of the strongest strategies is adhesion. Bacteria use surface proteins like grappling hooks to stick to mucus, teeth, or tissue. Once they attach, they don't want to be washed away. So they build structures. This is where biofilms appear, communities of bacteria wrapped in a self-made protective matrix. In a biofilm, bacteria can grow slower, share resources, swap genes, and become far harder to kill.
You have seen a biofilm before. Dental plaque is a biofilm. It's not just dirt.
It's a structured microbial city on your teeth. Biofilms can be useful. It's like stable communities on your skin or gut. But they can also be dangerous, especially when they form on wounds, in the lungs, or on medical devices. In that state, bacteria can become stubborn persistent, and resistant to antibiotics and immune attacks.
If bacteria can live inside you peacefully, why do infections happen at all?
Because your body is a fortress with doors, and bacteria are excellent at finding doors.
There are 5 major entry routes: the mouth, the nose and lungs, the skin, the urinary and reproductive tract,
and the bloodstream, often through breaks, needles, or devices. The skin is your first wall. It is dry, acidic, and full of antimicrobial chemicals. But a cut turns a wall into a gate. So do burns, insect bites, and chronic wounds. The lungs are another gate. Every breath brings in particles and microbes. Most get trapped in mucus and swept out by tiny cilia, like a conveyor belt moving dirt away. But some bacteria slip deeper, especially when defenses are weakened by viruses, smoke, or illness. The gut is a giant gate because it must absorb nutrients. Normally, a mucus layer and tight junctions keep microbes at a distance. Immune molecules patrol the surface, watching for trouble. But stress, inflammation, then bacteria, or their molecules, can leak into places they don't belong.
The urinary tract is a narrow tunnel that can be climbed.
And bacteria that reach the wrong place can cause intense inflammation. This is one reason urinary infections can feel so sudden and severe. And the bloodstream is the forbidden zone. If bacteria enter blood, the immune system treats it like an emergency, because it is. Once inside, bacteria do 3 main kinds of damage. First, they steal iron, glucose, amino acids, anything needed to multiply. Many pathogens have special systems to capture iron because your body hides iron on purpose, locking it away to starve microbes. Second, they sabotage. Some bacteria produce toxins that puncture cells, disrupt signaling, or trigger runaway inflammation. Sometimes the damage comes from the immune response itself. A fire so big it burns the house to save it. This is how infection can turn into systemic shock. Third, they hide. They camouflage their surfaces. They live inside cells. They shut down immune alarms. Or they retreat into biofilms, tiny cities with walls. And then, something even stranger happens. Bacteria can evolve inside you while you are alive. They divide fast. They mutate. And they exchange genes like trading cards, especially inside biofilms, or when antibiotics create a powerful selection pressure. This is one reason antimicrobial resistance is rising worldwide. Infections that were once easy to treat can become stubborn and dangerous. The more we use antibiotics carelessly, the more we train bacteria to survive them. So bacteria rule the body in 3 ways. By filling your ecosystem, by controlling key chemical signals, and by exploiting your weak points. But here's the twist. They don't rule alone. Your body is not a victim. It is a manager. It uses acid, enzymes, bile, mucus, cilia, and immune cells. It rewards helpful communities. It punishes dangerous behavior. It builds barriers. It learns. Health is balance. When that balance breaks, we call it dysbiosis, an ecosystem shift where harmful patterns become easier. Not necessarily a single villain, but a system out of tune. And dysbiosis is not just about the gut. It can involve the mouth, skin, lungs, and urinary tract too. The places where bacteria live are also the places where they negotiate with you.
Now, it would be easy to end this story as a horror film.
Say your body is under constant siege, but that's not true. Most days, you win, silently.
Your immune system and microbiome handle threats without drama.
Don't notice the battles, because the system is working. That's why the microbiome story is not really about fear. It's about perspective.
Because the microbiome story is a mirror. It says, you are not separate from the world. You are a negotiation with it. Every day, you feed an ecosystem.
Every day, you open doors and close doors. Every day, your habits shift which microbes thrive. Not in a moral way, but in a biological way. So here are a few science-first, non-dramatic conclusions. First, bacteria are not your enemy. They are your environment. Second, your strongest protection is not perfection. It is systems, clean water, vaccines when appropriate, but basic hygiene, and using antibiotics only when needed and prescribed. Third, your body's goal is not to eliminate risk. It is to stay resilient, to recover, to adapt,
And to keep the ecosystem stable. And finally,
if you ever feel disgusted by the idea that you are full of microbes, remember this: you are not contaminated. You are alive. Life on Earth is cooperative chemistry, and you are one of its most complicated agreements. If this episode helped you see your body differently, tap like. And for more calm, science-first stories about biology, meaning, and the human experience,
subscribe to Arcane Knowledge.